In this episode of Books on the Movies, I got a great page turner. Hit and Run by Nancy Griffin and Kim Masters, two great journalists. Remember growing up when you were in the fifth grade and eighth grade and you had all your friends who were telling penis jokes and fart jokes, and you were just like, oh my God, I can't wait till I grow up and I'm in the real world where people can act like adults. But then you get into become an adult and you find out that those people still doing fart jokes in third grade are still doing it as in business, and they happen to be your manager and they happen to be the CEO of the company, and how disheartening it was. Well, this book is like that. This is about how Sony Pictures tried to get into the Hollywood, into movie business, and they needed a couple of guys to run the show. And who'd they pick? Guys named John Peters and Peter Gruber, who are big names in Hollywood, but they totally took Sony's to the cleaners. This book is so entertaining, but it is so frightening at the same time to think that the way they did business, which is totally the opposite of how you learn, or you try to be respectful, you try to be honest, you try to do the right thing, and they completely do the opposite, and yet they make a ton of money for themselves. But Sony just got, they still in the movie business, but they went into big debt. This story is actually, this book is actually two stories. The first one is about that Sony debacle, and these Kim Masters and Nancy Griffin actually recorded this and wrote this in real time. They wrote the book and then they published it right after this happened, so they were right on top of everything. But the other story that's involved in this book is about John Peters, about how he grew up, about how he lost his father, about his personality, and about how he vowed when he was 20 years old that he would make his first million, and he did it, which is impressive. But to go back, he became a hairstylist, and he became a hairstylist to the stars, and he became famous for being the hairstylist of Barbra Streisand, which helped him out a lot. But this is a very successful story, which is fulfilling, but at the same time, the way he got and became successful would throw tantrums, would get into fights, would scream and yell and bang on desks. It's just insane. And you say, how can a guy like this succeed? But he did. The guy owns the rights to A Star Is Born, and he owns the rights to Batman. He's still making money off of it. This is a great read. As I said, it's frustrating, but it's also entertaining. It's highly recommended by movies or cinema. So go and check it out if you get a chance.